Welcome to DC Music Rocks. The Washington, D.C. region has one of the best local music scenes in the country. We're shining a spotlight on its great songs and incredible people. Tune in, jam on, rock out.
I'm your host, Brian Nelson Palmer, and with me today is Mannywellz. Say hi, buddy.
Hey, what's going on? How you doing, bro?
It is such a treat to have you here, man.
And
you brought friends. Who'd you bring with you?
I brought Abib, my longtime bro.
How's it going?
Nice. And do you guys perform together or friends, or what's the connection?
Just brothers, just friends, really.
Nice. Yeah. Very good. Well, thanks for being here, Abib. And Manny, thanks for being here, man. If they've never heard of you, how would you describe yourself as an artist?
Man, as an artist, I would say I am a genre-bending, soulful individual.
Soulful individual. So we're talking like soul, R&B, that kind of vibe? What kind of vibe?
Just music from the soul that navigates through like various genres, from, R&B to soul to hip hop to whatever it is that I want to do, really.
Nice. And if they haven't heard of your music, what are three big name artists that they might have heard of that you've been compared to then?
Three big name artists. I want to say Wyclef, a lot of Wyclef.
Nice.
I get Lauryn Hill.
Okay.
I also got a lot of Chance the Rapper early on as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh man, those are fun. Well, we're gonna hear some of your music, and on today's show, we'll start with news from the DC music scene. We got great music from DC region artists to share with you, and then of course we got a special interview with Manny here. Now we're gonna jump right into the news off the bat, and the first news is a big news update. We are pausing production of the DC Music Rock show for a while, and we're going to pivot. So this is the last show for a while. And I was sitting here, we started the show, and it's like, oh God, this is fun. We're pausing for a little bit. The show's only one piece of the total DC Music Rocks platform. There's the website and the artist database, and there's a lot we're doing with DC Music Rocks. And the goal is to connect the DC community with the incredible music scene here in the city. So the show in its current format requires 15, 20, 25 man hours a week to produce, and is the biggest effort of the team by far. And we believe that the website and the information we share is where the bigger value is for the community. So we're going to spend our effort expanding the DC Artist Database on the website and the live music calendar on our website, and bring in a blog so we can relay the news to you. So we're going to experiment with some different formats and some different ways of sharing the news about the music scene. And we're going to pause production of the podcast so we can really focus on that. So there's a possibility of bringing the podcast back in the future, maybe in a different format or a little different. But we're really excited about the direction that we're headed in. So what this means for you is, if you haven't already done so, sign up for our email list. The link's in your episode notes right now, wherever you're listening to the show. We'll still be emailing all of our news. So if you haven't signed up for the list already, the link's right there. Go check it out. And that way we can share the news. And also, August 17th at the 930 Club, we are already confirmed. We are announced. We are doing the DC Music Rocks Festival for our third annual festival. It is happening August 17th. So go ahead and mark it on your calendar now. We would love you there to do our third annual festival at the 930 Club, celebrating DC's music scene. This one is going to be so much fun. So that's my big news for the day. That is the mother of all announcements I've ever shared, but at the same time, it's exciting. There is an exciting future ahead of us here. So, thanks so much for listening in for all this part. And I look forward to the future of what DC Music Rocks becomes and pivots into. Now next update is new releases. And remember, these are all available right now wherever you get your music online. And in your episode notes, if there's a link to their profile, which also has their iTunes and Spotify links, so you can listen to the music I'm talking about, and of course their website and Facebook, so you can find out more information. So first up, Red Gold Green released Red Gold Green 3. It's an 11-song hip-hop vibe album. It's great energy. It's good to work out to, actually. So it's recommended if you like the Gorillaz or Nerd. You might love Red Gold Green. Check that one out. Aaron Abernathy released Epilogue, which is an epic 18-song album that he put together. Basically, he released 3 EPs. He put those together, and this is the compilation album of the whole collection together. He just released that one, and I love it. He's recommended if you like Marvin Gaye, James Brown, Prince, Earth, Wind and Fire, D'Angelo. You might love Aaron Abernathy. He's from right here around DC. Tony Craddock Jr. released Sunrise, the remix, and it's a very sexy saxophone jazz single. It's an upbeat remix to it, though. That's recommended if you like Kenny G, Boney James, or Dave Koz. Check out Tony Craddock Jr. Odetta Hartman released You. which is a 2-song indie single. I've been obsessing about the track You. You got to check it out. It's pretty catchy. It's recommended if you like Beck, Karen Dalton, Sylvan Esso, Patti Smith, or Jork. You might love Odetta Hartman. She's got some great things going on musically. And then, of course, the links to all these are in your episode notes. And then we have Russell with Got Me Groovin'. Russell's kind of an electro techno, it's a 2-song release. And I love the vibe though. Another one that's a good beat to exercise or working around the house or something like that. Put this one on in the back. I was doing that this week. It's recommended if you like Purple Disco Machine, Moose T, Dave Penn, Armand Van Helden, or Chromeo. Which I love Chromeo. You're going to love Russell too. So check that. And it's Russell, RVSSLL. Russell. That's what it is. Billy Wynn released the audio version of his WDHS, which stands for Won't Drop Till My Heart Stops. It's an awesome kind of a electro pop song. And we did the video with all the dancing last week. We shared that link with you. And this week the music's out. So it's another good driving beat song. It's great to dance to or work out to. And, so check that one out. He's recommended if you like Iconopop or Pet Shop Boys. Check him out. Color Theory released It's Complicated. It's a rockin' single. Recommended if you like Alkaline Trio, Foo Fighters, or Blink-182. Color Theory has some awesome things going on. Check out that single. And it's Color, COLOUR. You'll see it in your notes. Frass Green released Met You. And it's a folk bluegrass single. Really cool style. Recommended if you like Alex G, Waves, Beach Boys, Girls, or Magic Kids. You might love Frass Green, like grass, but with an F. Frass Green. And then Loy Loy. Oh man, I love me some Loy Loy. They're an electro pop single. It's a duo or a trio, depending on which show you see them at. But so much energy from these guys. It's a driving, like electro drum beat song. It's awesome. It's an electro pop single. Recommended if you like Portishead, US Girls, or D-Light. You might love Loy Loy. And I have one music video link to share with you, and I loved this one. It's a music video by the group Black Alley. It's called Maybe. And it's a video at a rehab center because the line is, maybe we should drink, maybe we should smoke. And it's about rehab from that and making that choice on maybe we should or maybe we shouldn't. And it's really an awesome hip hop track. So I really enjoyed that one. The link's in your episode notes too. So that's... Dope. You what?
Black Alley's dope.
Oh, I really love. Yeah, absolutely. And Manny, speaking of new releases, talk to me about what's going on in your world. What did you just release? What's coming up? What do we got for new releases?
What did we just release? The most recent release was Sofro, which was the EP that came out 2018. But we have a bunch coming up. We have a single coming up. I did a joint collaboration with my DJ, who's also a producer. So we're gonna have like a little DJ Khaled featuring, I don't know, like, you know, favorite artist type situation. And I think it's
Nice.
a very vibey. It's a very vibey, dancey, Afro dancehall song.
Nice.
And we also just shot the video about 2 weeks ago. So I'm excited for that. That's probably going to come out in like the next week and a half or two.
Heck
The audio.
man. All right.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. And if they're wanting to find out, where's the best place for them to find out when you release new music or new videos like that? Where's the best place for them to find that?
Oh man, best place is, first off, all over my social media. And then you can actually sign up for our mailing list if you go on my website, Mannywellz.com. And then there's also a number that you can text if you don't really use emails or if you're not like a professional and all that. So you could just text me and then I could send you updates, or I could just text you and we could just vibe out and just talk about life and stuff. So
nice.
Yeah.
A text feature. Look at you, man. It's like high tech. Actually, it's low tech, but it seems cool and high tech. That's fun. I mean, I like it, dude.
Yeah.
All right. All the news. There we go. Stay tuned for that stuff coming up from Manny. And then the last news update is, what concerts are you going to go see this week? Because research shows that it reduces stress and it makes you happy if you go see live music. So if you check your episode notes right now, you'll find the link to our local music calendar, which is the only place online you can find exclusively where DC's own musical talent in a 50-mile driving radius around DC is performing. So the link's right there for you. And speaking of upcoming shows, Manny, you got what's coming up for you in terms of shows and performing?
In terms of shows, we have, I'm actually planning an acoustic experience with the management team, and we plan on doing that hopefully in March, like end of March. So we're going to announce the dates and the venues and all that. It's going to be like a chill little vibe. And right now I'm just working on my project. So hopefully after that we get to tour the country.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so wait a minute. So there's upcoming acoustic experience, and then working on your project, which is a new. Is it an EP or a full album, or what's the project?
Man, that's a great question. I think it's gonna be an EP, but you never know. Like
Depends
I'm about
on-
like I'm about like maybe 40 songs in. And
40 songs in.
Yeah, so we have like 40 ideas on the table right now.
I see. And then how many of them become really good songs we put out? Man, that's fun, dude. Wow. All right. There we go. And then a tour. Heck yeah, man. We will do it. We will certainly be following you here on DC Music Rocks. That's for sure, man. All right. So we've been talking for a little bit. Let's jump into some music here. And the first part for me that I'm excited to get to share, this is one, man, I heard about this group 2 years ago. I finally got in touch with them, finally connected with these guys, got their information, and now I get to share their music with you. They got more coming out because I got to play their song for you. So they call it SNRG, which stands for Some Never Really Get. And this is called Lady and the Tramp.
DC Music Rocks. Great jams to hear by artists from here.
Lady, there's something on my mind and it's driving me crazy. And I know this shouldn't feel right. Lately I'm thinking, and I know she's seeing it too. But what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? When she's nothing close to you, nothing comes close to you, nothing comes close to you. So tell me what I'm supposed to do when nothing comes close to you. Nothing comes close to you. So tell me what I'm supposed to do when nothing comes close.
Dumb, deaf, but blind, yes. Pretty deaf, but really dumb because I let you step on to the next one so I can have some fun. Now I'm a dumb, stuck in some random. She blow, I'll pop, but when with this I'll stop a vicious cycle of random. Touching tootsie pops, props I get from other chupa chups. I know this should be fun, but inside this really sucks.
Lady, there's something on my mind and it's driving me crazy. And I know this shouldn't feel right. Lately I'm thinking, and I know she's seen it too. But what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? When she's nothing close to you, nothing comes close to you. Ooh, nothing comes close to you. Yeah, baby. So tell me what I'm supposed to do when nothing comes close to you. What am I gonna do? Nothing comes close to you. Nothing comes close to you. Yeah. So tell me what I'm supposed to do when nothing comes close to you. No.
Oh, how I miss you, would so love to kiss you. My simply because Mrs. Hits me think I got issues, and I hope this a message that'll get through. There's no one else, not even close, it's wonderful and it's true. Cause I tried too many times and got a bit out of line. But it's you that's on my mind, I can't help it but wouldn't try. Looking back, I lived, loved, learned, and lost track. And lately I'm a lunatic, lucky I'm in love like that.
Lady, there's something on my mind and it's driving me crazy. And I know this shouldn't feel right. Lately I'm thinking, and I know she's seen it too. But what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? When she's nothing close to you, nothing comes close to you. Nothing comes close to you. No. So tell me what I'm supposed to do when nothing comes close to you. Nothing comes close to you. Nothing comes close to you. Yeah. So tell me what I'm supposed to do. Nothing comes close to you. Oh no, baby. She doesn't wanna talk about it cause it's got her feeling down. And I can tell from the look in her eyes that she really wants to work things out. But truthfully, I just can't change what I'm feeling inside. And I know it hurts her soul when she sees the look in my eyes. Lady, there's something on my mind and it's driving me crazy. And I know this shouldn't feel right. Lately I'm thinking, and I know she's seen it too. But what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? Oh, nothing comes close to you. Nothing comes close to you. Nothing comes close. So tell me what I'm supposed to do when nothing comes close to you.
Unlucky I'm in love, unlucky I'm in love like.
Lucky I'm in love like
Lucky I'm in love, lucky I'm in love, lucky I'm in love like.
Lucky I'm in love like
Unlucky I'm in love, unlucky I'm in love, unlucky I'm in love like.
Ooh, lucky I'm in love like that.
The sweet sounds of SNRG, Some Never Really Get, is the title. And that was their song Lady and the Tramp. That's off their album Never Home. And these guys, ooh, is good, isn't it?
Such a vibe.
Oh, it's such a good, I caught you can't help but just kind of like sway. This is one of those ones that like, I want this on while I'm like sweeping the house or doing some housework or riding in the car or something like that.
Yeah.
Cruising.
You know, yes, it just, it's such a good vibe. So I check out more of these guys' collection because they've been around for quite a while. Interesting about these guys is that they're kind of, I don't want to say dual citizens, but they spent the duo grew up, it's two guys, and they grew up in the Washington, D.C. area, but their cultural identity is rooted across the world in the province of Pampanga. They resided in the Philippines for years and maintained even their own radio and television programs there. And so they're back in North America, and they're going to be releasing a new album coming up March 17th in 2019. So they've performed all over the place, all over the country. And there's a political, they're part of it is politics and world development and stuff. That's one of the reasons that brings them to DC. So they live here. So L.A. Stone is one of the artists. One of the two. He was born in California but ISPK was born in Walter Reed. So those are the two guys. And if you like Outkast, Brand New, Logic, Take Back Sunday, Arrested Development, LL Cool J, or actually some of their new fans have compared them to Linkin Park because they've got a little bit of that kind of vibe too.
I see
but
that.
Just good, solid jams, man. Really enjoyed it. And one more interesting fact, if you know Roslyn, they grew up at River Place, which is the red brick apartment buildings right next to the river in Roslyn. So man, just so many cool things. I'm so glad I found those guys and I shared them with you. Check out more of their music. And of course, check out, they're going to be performing. I think they got a show coming up in Jam and Java at some point with their album release. So stay tuned for more from those guys. Now we got Manny on the show with me today, and my favorite way to introduce you to the artist is to play you their music. So there it is. This is Mannywellz, and the track is called Wrong Place.
DC Music rocks.
They say good guys ain't in style no more. Is this true? I beg to differ. They say good guys are hard to find these days. Is this true? I beg to differ. Oh yeah. Maybe you've been looking in the wrong place. Looking in the wrong place. Maybe you've been in the wrong place. Looking in the wrong place. Maybe you've been looking in the wrong place. Looking in the wrong place. Maybe you've been in the wrong place. Looking in the wrong place. I know, I ain't too perfect. I do have a past. I done broke some hearts before. They said, we don't trust these rules. Tatiana's everywhere, oh my. We won't even try, cause good girls can't be found. But is this true? I beg to differ, oh yeah. Maybe you've been looking in the wrong place. Looking in the wrong place. Maybe you've been in the wrong place. Looking in the wrong place. Maybe you've been looking in the wrong place. Looking in the wrong place. Maybe you've been in the wrong place. Looking in the wrong place. Maybe you've been looking in the wrong place. Maybe you've been looking in the wrong place. Maybe
you've been looking
in the wrong place.
Maybe you've been looking
In the wrong place. Maybe you've been looking in the wrong place. Looking in the wrong place. Maybe you've been in the wrong place. Looking in the wrong place. Maybe you've been looking in the wrong place. Looking in the wrong place. In the wrong place. Looking in the wrong place. In the wrong place.
Oh, we are.
In the wrong place. Maybe you've been in the wrong place.
Mannywellz, and the track is Wrong Place off the album Soul Fro. And man, Manny,
Yes,
I dig
sir.
it, man.
Thank you, man.
The vibe is good.
Thank
now,
you.
what is that song is called Wrong Place? Tell the story. What's that about?
Long story short, I was on the phone with my friend, and she was talking about. Well, she isn't my friend anymore. She doesn't mess with me. But
Okay.
see, long.
I see. I was going to say, part of me, the interview part of me is like, ooh, should I make a note and ask about that later? And then the other part of me is like, wait, no, talk about the song. All right, talk about
So
focus.
Right. So we were talking about. She was talking about how she felt like good guys didn't exist, and how guys are trash and guys are always playing with females hards, da 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 da. And I was like, no, I believe that good people still exist in this world. And I just think that you're looking for certain things in the wrong place. So right after that conversation, I went ahead and just wrote the song. The way I
Nice.
created the song is actually on YouTube. Like the making of the song is on YouTube. So it's pretty
Really?
interesting. Yeah.
All right, so check out, I guess on if you go on YouTube and you look up Mannywellz
It's
and
there.
Wrong Place,
Yes.
they'll
Yeah.
find the
Yeah.
how-to video. That's cool. I'm going to find
Yeah.
that. I'll put that in the episode notes too if I can find
Sweet.
it. But yeah, that was it. And so there it is. The line, baby, you be looking in the wrong place.
Yep.
That's cool. I like that story, man. So let me give you a little proper introduction here. So on DC Music Rocks, we're shining a spotlight on the great songs, artists, and incredible people behind the DC region's music scene. Inspired by the native sounds of his African roots, Mannywellz is a Nigerian-born, Maryland-based artist. He translates his life experiences through his artistry in songwriting, producing, and playing multiple instruments. With an infectious smile, playful nature, and powerful voice, Mannywellz continues to leave audiences awestruck, recognizing his passion and raw talent. So much from this guy. I first came across him with Luke James Schaefer came on the show, and there's been a couple others from the studio that you've been working with. And I came across your name, and then I started listening to the music, and I've been a fan for a while. So the fact that I now have you on the show is just exciting for me, man.
Yes,
Thanks for
man.
being here.
Thank you for having me.
This
Thank you
is
for having
cool.
me.
All right. So now off the bat, Mannywellz, is that actually your name, or is that what's the story with that?
Story. So my first name is Emmanuel.
Okay. Oh,
And
Manny, got it.
everyone, short for Emmanuel is Manny. But Mannywellz means, so you know how wells are actually like wells are deep?
Yes.
So Mannywellz is a deep thinker. So I wanted to create a Twitter page back in like 2008. And I was like, what do I call myself? And I was like, Mannywellz, I'm always thinking deep. And I just did that. And I never changed it after.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
That all started from a Twitter handle?
Yep, it was Twitter.
Stop
I needed
it.
a Twitter handle. Yep.
That is awesome. That's awesome. Okay. So Twitter, and still today, that's where Mannywellz.
Yeah,
and then everything
Mannywellz.
else, now Facebook and social media, and now the artist profile, and everything's
Mannywellz.
Mannywellz.
Yep.
Holy smokes. I love that, man. Wow. And what about, so your DC region connection, where's home? Where are you connected?
Well, I live in Laurel, Maryland, but then home is also Lagos, Nigeria.
Got it. And
which
talk
is where I
about
was
that.
born.
You were born over there. You came over here. You go back. Talk about that.
I was born in Nigeria, and then I moved to the States when I was 9 years old. I haven't been back yet because I have certain legal restraints, so I'm not able to travel. I'm a DACA recipient.
I see.
Yeah, so the program that the big boss wants to, shut off.
Right.
And
right.
yeah, so it's actually it's really interesting because I'm not able to travel outside of the US to perform to fans. I wasn't able to go to Canada on tour in 2017. So
because they potentially could stop you at the border and not let you back in.
Yep, facts.
Wow.
Yep.
That's wild. And if they don't know what DACA is, in just a couple sentences, what do you mean by the DACA program? What is it really?
So DACA, long story short, DACA allows kids who were brought in at an early age to work, get Social Security number. We're able to drive. We're able to do we're able to pay taxes. We're able to do a lot of things. We're able to pay in-state tuition through this. And the biggest thing for me now is just traveling. So yeah.
I see. Okay. And so but you're not technically a resident.
No,
then.
we're not residents.
I see.
Yeah. But we're just allowed to stay here and work pretty much.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Wow. You're almost like, I don't want to say a prisoner because that seems like the wrong phrase, but you can't leave and then come back. So oh man, that's crazy.
It's tough.
All right.
But it's cool.
I mean, that's also a topic for a whole other show. Let's get back to the music. I mean, clearly DACA would be a thing we could talk about, but let's get back to you here. So what is your earliest memory with music? What comes to mind?
Earliest memory with music was auditioning for, the choir when I was like 5, 6. I remember I got on my knees and I started worshiping God, singing one of my dad's songs. And my dad's a musician as well, by the way. Like music legit runs in the family. So
mom too, or dad?
She can sing, but she doesn't really like create. But my dad's actually a musician. He threw me on stage when I was like 9. And that's how I got used to just being on stage and performing and just having fun doing what I love. So yeah.
And you said you threw yourself on your knees and you were singing your dad's song. What is that song?
I'm on my knees, oh Lord, to worship you. Oh my God, to give you the praise, Almighty God. You are my creator.
Nice. And so you're 9 years old and you jumped on your knees.
Shoot, that was 5.
Or 5 years old. Wow.
So 9 was when I moved to the States and my dad had a show. And then he gives me a mic and he's like, sing. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know this song. And he's like, just sing. You'll be all right. Yeah. He knew I had it.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
So is that also kind of your first memory performing is when he tossed you on stage then?
Mm-hmm. Well, performing with him, but I saw like pictures of me performing when I was, like 5, 4. We used to have like talent shows in school in Nigeria. And my sister and I were always at the forefront of things, whether it was dancing, whether it was performing, or even acting. We were always like the go-to kids. Like, no, my middle name is Wale. So they'll be like, yo, go get Wale until they'll do it. So it was cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I like that, dude. So now talk about you on the personal side. So outside of this music thing, what do you do in your free time? What else are you into?
Shoot, I like to read my Bible. I like Jesus. I also enjoy playing soccer. I love soccer. Like, I love soccer.
Is there like root for a team, watch it on TV or
baby.
play it? Or
Liverpool. My favorite player is Steven Gerrard. He's retired now, but forever be my favorite player. I don't think I'll have another favorite player. He's the greatest.
Steven Gerrard. There it is. And do you play soccer?
Yeah, I play. I play soccer.
Like pickup leagues or just regularly or every once in a while?
So prior to me going full force with music, I wanted to take Nigeria to the World Cup final. That was my goal. And, things didn't happen the way I wanted it to happen. Also, me being a DACA recipient, I couldn't take scholarships. I couldn't take certain scholarships in high school. So I turned down a few like D2. I had a few D1 looks as well. And, they didn't really give me enough money. And on top of me being a DACA recipient. So I ended up going to community college and then got hurt, got frustrated. And I was like, screw this. I'm just going to make music. Yeah.
Nice. Well, for the record, I really like the music you're making, man. So I know the soccer thing didn't work out, but I like what you're doing with the music for sure.
Thank you.
Now, talk about the funniest moment that comes to mind performing.
Funniest moments would be forgetting lyrics and forgetting certain arrangements, but the audience they usually have no clue. So they're just like, they're in it. And then the band guys are like laughing
Right.
And they
'cause
think
you
we're having
totally
fun, but
screwed
we're
up.
laughing at each other like,
Oh.
boy, you forgot that line.
I can't believe you
Yeah.
forgot that part.
Yeah.
We played that 100 times and you
Yeah.
forgot it now? What the hell?
Yup.
Oh, that's funny.
Happens frequently.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, so one of my favorite questions to ask, and I want to ask both of you guys because Abib is here with you. And so for both of you, but Manny, start with you. If you could offer one piece of advice and you could take that in whatever context you want, what would it be?
One piece of advice to creatives, to young creatives, take advantage of the amount of time you have in your youth. Practice, learn, practice. Like, you have to eat, sleep your craft. Like, you just have to dig deep, dig in, and just learn everything that you possibly can. Because, I mean, obviously, the younger you are, like, the quicker it is for you to, like, grasp certain information. Mm-hmm. So just become a sponge, and you'll be crushing by the time you're like 21, you know?
Wow, there you go.
Yeah.
And when you say that, is there certain things you're talking about learning? Like when it comes to musicians, does that mean like reading music or taking lessons or instruments or all? What are you referring to?
Depending on your goal. So if you're a producer, like, you should study the greats behind you. Like, you should study, like, I studied people like Pharrell. I studied people like Timbaland. I love Kanye West as a producer. I love Ryan Leslie, who actually, like, was the guy that made me want to chase this production, you know, side of the artistry. So, like, study and do your homework on them. And when you study them, you'll see yourself getting new inspiration. So you'll be able to add on top of what they've already established.
Sure.
So that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Nice, man. And Abib, you're here. Tell us, man, if you could offer one piece of advice, what would it be?
Sure. And I'm still trying to absorb this myself, but my piece of advice would be to just enjoy the journey, enjoy the process.
Enjoy the journey.
There's going to be a lot of failures, but fail smart and learn from it, like, take up all you can from it and apply it the next time you go and just enjoy it.
That's awesome. Is there a story personally that comes to mind when like an example that you're trying to enjoy the journey through or something like that? What comes to mind?
So I actually just started dabbling into music production myself recently. So, just going through learning, trying to learn about, the software itself, instruments in general, it's a process of trial and error. So there's often hundreds of failures for me when I'm working on making a beat or something. So I'm just trying to enjoy it.
Trying to enjoy the process. Oh, for sure. Absolutely. I mean, with podcast production too, there's a lot of, you try something and then you try something else and then the program crashes and then you have to go back and do it again. And I feel you. And I got to be honest, when that happens, the last thing in my mind is, I enjoy this process. That's not what I'm thinking.
You're like, oh my God. Like, oh my God.
But that said, yes, it's true in terms of when I now look back at like 3 years of podcasting, and today's the day where we're stopping the show for a little bit. Right. Like, I'm looking back on it and I enjoyed the process. It's true. Even though you have those moments that give you so much frustration, but yeah, I love it. To enjoy the process. And now, all right. And if they want to find out more about you, Manny, and the things that you've got going on and what's coming up with you, where's the best place for them to follow you and find you?
Check me out on every social media platform at Mannywellz, which is Mannywellz. And that's one word, no space.
Mannywellz, yes. All the platforms and everything. Yep. Check them out. And now we've been talking for a little bit, and one of the things about being a guest on this show is you got to bring great music with you.
Yes.
And Manny definitely did. So, man, why don't you kick us off? Let's jump back into the music. What do you have for us first today?
This is Alex Vaughn, Anymore.
DC Music rocks. Tune in, jam on, rock out.
Things can't be the same anymore. So things won't be the same anymore. Things won't be the same. Things can't be the same anymore. So things won't be the same anymore. I've been going through something that's been messing with my mental, messing with my vision, seeing things are different. Like the things I used to do don't really keep my interest, and I just wanna know when did it get like this? Can't put my finger on it to describe it. I'm trying, but I don't think I can fight it anymore. I finally decided, yeah, yeah. Things can't be the same anymore. So things won't be the same anymore. Things can't be the same anymore. So things won't be the same anymore. I'm trying to get millions, pop champagne in India and make that legacy, and I'm so serious. I don't feel this like I used to do. No. And I can't do this like I used to do. Cause I'm trying to get this money. Let's go and get this money. But I can't do it at this party. No. And I don't know when it started. I decided, yeah. Things can't be the same anymore. So things won't be the same anymore. Things can't be the same anymore. So things won't be the same anymore.
Alex Vaughn, and the track is Anymore, and that's off the album called The Shift. And oh man, Manny, I love that you brought her in. You know, funny story about her is that at birth her name was Alexandria Von Wallace, and so she changed the spelling of Vaughn, V-O-N, to Vaughn, V-A-U-G-H-N.
Look at Alex.
There you go.
Okay.
And so that is how you get Alex Vaughn now. She's a PG County girl, and she went to high school at Suitland High School right here in the DC area. And so I've been such a fan of her. If you like Lauryn Hill, John Legend, Mary J. Blige, Alicia Keys, you're going to love Alex Vaughn. Check out more from her. And I love you brought her in, man. Talk about Alex, Manny.
Alex Vaughn is a dope singer, songwriter, producer, artist, performer, person. She's just a dope individual all around, and it's always a great vibe whenever we see each other. It's always a great vibe whenever we hang, and I was just really excited when she released her most recent project. I was at the listening, and just watching her receive and get so much love from the people in the area was like really amazing, and it was inspiring because we need that for the area.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
How did you first come across her? Where'd you meet her?
Where did I meet her? I think I probably saw her playing the piano and singing on Twitter, and I followed her and then followed her on IG, followed back. I hit her up. We connected, and she came to the studio. She came to House Studios, and then we connected and just been cool ever since. This was like maybe 2016, 2017. Yeah.
And you talked to House Studios. Talk more about House Studios, and you're connected to that. She is too.
Yeah. So House Studios is a creative, it's a creative hub. It's like a home for creatives. And, it's just a dope company to be a part of, because they shoot content. They help artists get to the next level, whether it's financially, like they provide resources. They provide, things like marketing plans for different artists. So depending on what the artist needs, they're there to help. If they can't do it, which is usually not the case, they'll help you find the people to do that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And that's, wow, man. And so and Alex Vaughn so she came over to the studio as well?
Yeah, she came to the studio, because I had access to the studio, and then I was just like, let's just vibe out. We play some music for each other, and then we just been cool ever since.
That's awesome, man. Well, shout out to Alex. If you haven't checked out her music, please do. She's got a lot going on online and a lot for you to listen to, and it's really good stuff. So check out more from her, the PG County girl, Alex Vaughn, V-A-U-G-H-N is the last name. Now, this this is, I got another one that I'm going to play for you that I haven't ever shared. More new artists. I love sharing new artists with you every single week. This is Jonathan Sloan, and the track is Alive and Well.
DC Music rocks.
The sweet sounds of Jonathan Sloan, and the track is Alive and Well. And I really enjoy Jonathan Sloan. That was the trio. He plays solo, but he also plays with a trio. I just noticed he's playing the Hamilton Live on February 22nd. He'll be up in the Loft at the Hamilton, which is another secret gem. If you've never been to the Loft at the Hamilton in downtown near Metro Center, I hope you go check that out too. And why not check out February 22nd? Check out that artist, Jonathan Sloan. He'll be there with the trio. And he's Rockville, Maryland is home for him, but he was born in the Darnestown, Maryland, if you know where that is. It's a DC suburb, but he liked to describe that everyone listened to modern music when he was growing up, all that pop stuff. And then he was a little bit of a relic. So he was born in the wrong time because his influences are more like Clapton, Hendrix, Led Zeppelin. I mean, Ryan Adams, Chris Stapleton. He's got some influences that are a little kind of more maybe before his time, right. But he's also, the music is just so good. So there's a lot more about Jonathan Sloan on the internet. You can check him there. Of course, we have a profile for him in the DC Artist Database on DC Music Rocks. You can check out all of his information there too. We've got some more fun stats about him as well. So check him out there. Now we have one more song, but before we do, I want to stop and take a moment and say thanks. Manny, thanks so much for coming on the show, man. And here's what I love. I love that you're here and like you kind of describe the DACA situation as maybe a little bit of a challenge, but at the same time, you're thriving, man. You're putting out this phenomenal music.
Thank you.
You've got all the R&B and the hip hop influence and the cross genre stuff you got going on is really good. So I can listen to your songs and not get tired of them because it's the same thing over and over again. They're all a little different.
Thank you.
I love that you're doing that and I love what you're doing. And thanks so much for coming and being on the show, man.
Man, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
And one more time for them, if they want to find out more about you and the great things you have going on, where do they go?
Feel free to check me out at Mannywellz, Mannywellz, all social platforms, on iTunes, on Spotify. Mannywellz.com is the website. There's also a number there for you to text if you're trying to hit me up.
There it is. Mannywellz. Check him out. Everything there. And listeners, I play drums for the DC rock band Fellowcraft. And since I am a DC musician, I consider it such a treat to share these guests like Mannywellz and this great music from right here in the DC region with you every week. So remember, we have resources for you too. We'd love for you to come be a part of this music community. On DC Music Rocks, you have access to a DC artist database, which has more than 400 DC region artists. So we can help you find more music you'll love. And we also have a calendar to help you attend these great shows happening all over the DC area every single day. So the bottom line is, I just want to say thanks. Thanks for following DC's music. Thanks for supporting DC's musicians. And most importantly, thanks for listening. Next week, we're on break. Starting the next week. So it's going to be, I don't even know what I'm going to do with myself to have a Tuesday off. I haven't had a Tuesday off in more than almost 3 years. So I'm kind of excited about it.
Congrats.
But more than that, I'm excited about the amazing things I have coming up for you with DC Music Rocks. So make sure you stay tuned. Sign up for that email list if you haven't already and follow us on socials because I've got more than like approaching 500 bands in that database and I really want to build the website to be a huge resource for you. So I want to see, that's my challenge and I'm going to take a break from the show to focus on that. So it has been such an amazing time having you with me here for almost 3 years. So thank you so much for tuning in and listening. Now we've got one more song and that is Blue Wreck. That's the band. And Blue Wreck, a lot of fun with these guys. Personal one for me on March 23rd, my band Fellowcraft, Blue Wreck, and there's an awesome punk band in town called the Split Seconds. We're playing at the Pie Shop in DC on H Street, which is, if you haven't been there, they got great pie. Like potluck, I'm blanking on the word. It's chicken pot pie. They've got like pot pies, but then they also have delicious dessert pies, and I love their pies. But they also have a music venue upstairs. So it's another hidden gem if you haven't checked that out. And these guys, I'm going to get to play with them, and I've been following them for a while. These guys are recommended if you like Royal Blood, Queens of the Stone Age, Led Zeppelin, Foo Fighters, Jimi Hendrix, or Black Sabbath. These guys hit hard, and they're awesome. They're from Falls Church. And I want to say the story. I'm dying to know the story behind their name. Been holding out on me. But Blue Wreck in the past has bonded over near weekly target runs of solid heavy breakdowns. Target runs meaning to the store. So I love it. They go to the store and then they break it down. Solid. So there's so much more information about these guys. Check out more of their profile, of course, and check out more of their music. This is their track, and let's bring it home one last time. This is Blue Wreck, and the song is Smokestack Lightning, and that's off their album Out of Control.
DC Music Rocks.
the matter with you? Why don't you hear me crying?
Thank you so much for listening to DC Music Rocks. Useful links and information about this episode can be found on the website dcmusicrocks.com. Tune in, jam on, rock out.